I, Capo, the Deputy Defense Chief of the Ambazonian Defense Forces, have called for the fund of SOC in line with the principles of the Ambazonian Defense Forces and the governing councils to be arrested, tried for treason, and face the maximum penalty, the death penalty. He should be executed, not assassinated. We are gentlemen. For committing treason, the same fund of SOC, I declare that the fund of SOC is a blackleg. He have connived, collaborated with the foreign government to impose its law and colonize Ambazonia. Under international law, colonization is a crime against humanity. And under the principle of the governing council and the ADF, he will receive the death penalty. The evidence against him is overwhelming. He is doing so on his own will and should be executed. I've communicated that to the British Southern Cameroon resistance forces and our partner forces around that area. This is what it needs to be done. Funds that commit treason shall face the death penalty. And the fund of the fund of SOC are the bench line. They have committed treason. The day they will be arrested, they will face trial and they will be executed humanely for committing treason against the state of Ambazonia. We are not mixing what, we are taking responsibility and we are taking ownership. And this is what leadership means. This is what the people want. They want independence, and this is what it needs to be done for them to have their independence. And the people in COM should know that we are not calling for him to be assassinated. It is not personal. It is national. You joke against the sovereignty, you will face the ultimate price. And it should be a lesson to all the funds. If you go against the will of your people, if you are not representing the will of your people, if you cannot defend the blood of your own people, you go and side with the genocidal regime. You do not deserve to be a fund. Funds in the Southern Cameroon have been polluted. Some of them have killed people to arise to that throne. That era is gone. That era where they tell us that only a man will eat the gizzard of a chicken. That era of darkness is gone. We are in the era of enlightenment. No fund that put his life, his greed over the life of his people and the dignity of his state, and that violate our sovereign right, will not survive. You will be arrested, you will be tried, you will face the death penalty. And we are not hiding it. You Nyamfuka, you are the real indeed Nyamfuka for Ambazonia.
My country people then, once again we continue for provide una evidence as normalcy and tranquility in the return in the Anglophone zone. So this one the fund for Akum, it be presented to the population and of course to the SDO for Mezam in an occasion today Saturday the 9th of November 2024. As we continue for get all the evidence which really happened on the ground, we will continue for the sensitize the general population, keep una abreast with what really happened in the Anglophone zone.
Arrival of the senior divisional officer for Mezam at the Fund Palace, to be received by the divisional officer for Santa Subposition, the mayor for Santa Council, the chairman of the traditional council.
Whether not for Southwest or for Northwest, I will say I'm saying it is so for 2024. The Amber terrorists did not get the capability where they be getting for 2018 for threatening people them, for trying to disrupt normal activities them. For example, schools, education for picking them, hospitals them, businesses them, development and social events like football intercartier them, like this kind of cultural events where they will happen. Amber terrorists they will try for sabotage them, they will try for say they will impose lockdowns, ghost towns, they will try for stop all of these things then, because they know want me people they get any fun, they be talk today, so they not supposed to play football during war, they're not supposed to get cry die during war, they're not supposed for enthrone a new chief or new king during war, all of that nonsense. Of course, first of all, no war, no day for Cameroon. Now just a few band of kidnapping terrorists them, and we could deal with them subsequently. As days did go by, we continue for the kill the terrorists them. Now the reason that way we get tranquility, peace and normalcy in the return in the Anglophone zone. When I look at the example for Lebialem, If una like, una take the example for Libya Lem, as we compromise the terrorists them, now so to peace and normalcy and tranquility a return to Libya Lem. For example, this one day, now so-called generals them for Libya Lem, General Mike, General Fonchinala Vincent, General Yeke, Field Marshal Oliver 33 Export, General Songu Bright, that one don't run. Diamond, it don't run. So peace and normalcy it will return into Libya Lem, because as we compromise the other shit, no white black so-called generals them, the other one they run. Now the same situation where they happen inside Mezam. What are you talking about for Tuba? You talking about for Bafut? You talking about for Bamenda 1, 2, 3? Everywhere you go inside Bamenda, peace and normalcy it will return. Slowly, yes, but surely. Now so to be happen for Libya Lem, it be starting as small, but today for 2024, when I say I'm saying this, so even colleges them like Seat of Wisdom, where they never opened since 2017, but they open for 2024. There is no magic button where we will press them for defeat Ambazona terrorism. Now small. Now so they be taken for radicalized Anglophone population over decades, since the 1980s, following on to the 1990s, and over decades of manipulation and radicalization. They still no fit for achieve 1% of the population, because the beginning where they carry guns go for bush, they not even make up to 1% of the Anglophone population. And make una understand, say no person it not be happy say these terrorists they be killed on a daily basis. We not be happy about that. We want them for drop their guns and save their lives. They never give away any option. For as long as they carry those guns, they take those drugs inside bush, they terrorize our population, we go compromise them all. It is as simple as that. We don't get an option. We don't get another choice. They get for surrender, drop those guns them, enter the DDR, or we go wipe them all. That is the only option where they don't give way. Me, I never ever ask any person say make a carry check out from cry guns and go for bush for go fight for me. So if you there for that bush, we go carry our own kumkum, pound them well, can't give you inside that bush for jaw. Kumkum, it be free. No man, you need to pay for kumkum. You go chop that kumkum, you must swallow them by force. So we're not glad, we'll not be happy. Say this picking that they lost their lives on a daily basis. As far as me I be concerned, the amber terrorists them, the poorly educated Anglophone youth, where they carry guns to go for bush, now one of the biggest victims of the manipulation by Anglophone wicked people them in the diaspora. So I feel sorry for them. I want them to save their lives. But if they don't come over that bush, then we get no other choice but for compromise them. When I go come over that bush, or we go compromise una. Someone will now with the compromise them, carry the dead body, put them in public like a function no blast for Gozang Market Square, cross and dive on tanker, Fonte Lucas for Mancon. I can go on and on and on. We go compromise una all. We don't have a choice, because we have been an existential threat to the safety, the development, and the happiness of our people them. So we no get no choice. So imagine what will go happen in the future once we don't sensitize all man, we don't educate everyone about the truth and the reality, and they will get the monopoly for radicalization for 2016 and beyond, before 2017. Not only them will talk for Facebook, for YouTube, for social media, and not only them will spread the propaganda nonsense for separatism and all of those things them. Black legs they don't exist, but today we the black legs we exist, and we don't change the dynamic. We don't totally and completely change the narrative on the ground, and we'll continue for bringing out the evidence as we kill the terrorism every single day. We will continue for showing now how the impact it be felt on the ground. Schools that they open, community centers them, markets, churches them, development it come back. People that they rebuild their lives them, reconstruction it don't already begin. You where you still get amber terrorists for your community, now you sabi, because other communities the way they don't work hard with the security forces them for kill the terrorists them so that they get their normalcy back, they go ahead. Now we go remain in darkness. Amber terrorism it don't be defeated in more than 80% of the Anglophone zone. Of course, now only a few pockets of bandits they remain inside bush where they kidnap a few people them for collect ransom. And as time goes on, we go fish them all out and we go compromise them all for bring peace and normalcy back in the Anglophone zone. No appeasement. We're not there for that nonsense. They make you carry cheeseburger, go for Canada or go for Switzerland or wherever for go give this shit no white blast terrorism where they did for abroad. None of that. Just like how Ayabacho Lucas there for prison for Norway, Mangang there for prison for America, The majority of them now so too they could go for prison. And sooner or later, after we don't kill all the shit no white blast way they did for Bush, normalcy go return, and the noise makers the way they did for Facebook, the Tapang Ivo, the Capo Daniel them, the Mark Barretta, the many of themselves they don't really go silent. Someone they don't really beg for negotiations, so they talk about cessation of hostilities. Because when they look left, right, they look up and down, they see and say, so we don't defeat them, we don't already win. Now why that way they change them, their talk now, they talk different thing. But we no worry. As time goes on, we'll wipe all the picking where they carry guns in the Anglophone zone where they cause no problems. Now so to the noise makers them, they go remain noise makers for Facebook. They no go fit declare even lockdown or anything, because who they go carry your neck, say it go stand for road for enforce the lockdown. Now so small peace, normalcy and tranquility it go return all over the Anglophone zone, my country people them. Today na Saturday 9th of November 2024. My country people them. You see why I focus on this part of the history about our own former British Southern Cameroon political elites, their contribution to the state of how Cameroon is day today and the self-destruction where we feel them today. Why me at the emphasize on this? Not because I hate my people. No. The point now say I love my people. I love my people too much for try for prevent them for enter into another experiment of self-destruction like what way would they experience them in the Anglophone zone today. Any people where they fail for learn lessons from their mistakes, they be bound for repeat those mistakes in the future. If you look at the so-called Ambazonians today for 2024, as they be fragmented, they be divided, and they fight amongst themselves, the infighting today even be worse than the infighting where it be exist between John Foncha and Endele in the 1960s. And now because of that infighting in the 1960s, where it led we to the 1966, where they joined one party system for Cameroon, and then by 1972 they break apart the federal structure and then change the name and the constitution of the country, and all of those things the way they happen. We need to understand our own role where we play in all of these things that happen, because when we understand them, when we reckon with the reality and the truth, it will empower we, it not go make we weaker. Knowledge is power. Why may I focus on this aspect of the history? Now, because the history don't be told over the decades in a one way where it be directed or be deliberately told in a way for cause Anglophone population for be angry. And they be one for tap into that anger, that agitation for political expediency. Make one understand these realities them, okay? So the history for former British Southern Cameroons, the reunification and the federal system, and the unitary system, all of that history, it don't be told by Anglophones them in a way where it be biased for try to make them like say, their shit not smell. Now only Ayijo be do something wrong. Now Pobia be do something wrong. Now Francophones they do something wrong. As for we the people then for former British and Cameroons, we never ever make mistakes. Ultimately we don't do and we be fine. We just be now peace-loving people. Then when they just enter the union with good intentions then, but all thing we go wrong, now you're on the money problem. All thing we go wrong for the union, now Francophone, now Ahijo, now Pobia. No. This generation where we in now, we suffer the consequences of these lies, and we not go allow those lies then for continue, because we not go let the next generation suffer the same self-destruction where the Anglophone community it go through. Now, whenever you tell story, may I give you an example? Imagine say a 10-year-old, all your life, 10 years of life, they don't tell you say for thief it be bad, and when you thief they go put you for prison. For thief it be bad, for thief it be bad, okay? Even at the age of 10 years old. So now, if you tell this 10-year-old Pekin, say Agbo, it don't thief, what do you think so that 10-year-old Pekin will talk? He could talk, of course, not lucky, because stealing is bad. Yes, we're not lucky, because they don't teach this Pekin all along, say stealing is bad, and when you thief, they go put you for prison. So when you tell that 10-year-old, say Agbo don't thief, he could talk, say, they lock Agbo up. But now here is the problem. Now, why that way we need every person where he be accused of a crime for get a day in court, so that he could get opportunity for defend himself. Now, why that way the summary execution of people, them now crimes against humanity, like how Ayabacho, ATF, they do one for Guzang, when you just catch some person, you accuse it of something and you take action, you just punish it instantly. You don't give it an opportunity for even defend himself. That is illegal in every country in the world. So you get to give people them an opportunity for also tell their own side of the story, the other side of the story, because when you get the full picture, then you could be better informed for make an informed decision where it could be better for all person. Now, that 10-year-old, if you then fill in more information, for example, why Agbotif? Weti Agbotifam. When did he steal it? And after the catch, he don't apologize. Was he remorseful? What will be your reaction after the catchy? All of those other information is supposed to be fed into the decision makers them in order for make an informed decision of what to do. No, not just say Agborontif, so lock it up. That is just black and white, and that's not just how the world work. Now, if you tell even that 10-year-old, say Agbo be thief na medicine, then now you could see the 10-year-old it go ask you, say, hey, be thief now, which kind of medicine and what do you want to do with the medicine? And then if you expand the story, tell you say Agbo be thief na medicine for Gian for ye pikin, because ye pikin be this sick and the pikin go die and then not be getting money for buy medicine. You see, if you feed in that detail, that other information now for give a bigger picture of what will be happen, you could see I'm now say even at the age of 10, that 10-year-old it could change your mind. It could tell you say actually because it be thief na medicine for save ye pikin in life. No, maybe they no put you for prison. Maybe the other things that they fit do, maybe they could tell you say make it work money pay back for the medicine wait for. You understand? Even at the age of 10-year-old film make that decision, but it will only make that decision where it be sound if you give you all the information where you need them for make informed decisions them. And now what this way the Anglophone population it don't be denied of, we don't be deprived of the full picture so that we can make an informed decision. They will tell we now half-baked information, lies, propaganda, and fake news. Even when they tell you the truth, they tell you now half of the truth. That way, they go control the emotions of the massive mass population of the Anglophones them for make the people they be angry so that they go agitate, so that they go exploit that anger and agitation for political expediency. I go give you a typical example. Anglophones, they don't always talk the history for former British Southern Cameroon. They go tell when I say for Resolution 1608 for April 1961, La République du Cameroon, it be vote against our independence. And they end there. They not tell Wuna why they be vote against Resolution 1608. They not tell Wuna about British Northern Cameroons because it be inconvenient for them. Because they know, say once they tell you the true story, the full picture, they add the meat to the bones. They give you the full information so that you could then make your own mind and make an informed decision. You see and say, you know, go get you angry. You go understand why that decision was taken. So they will just can't tell and say, oh, La République du Cameroon, no be vote for our independence. They no be vote for our independence. But they not tell you why. The reason are because of Northern Cameroons. They don't get nothing for do with Southern Cameroons because the territory where the British they control them, they call them say the Cameroons under British administration, where it includes Southern Cameroons and Northern Cameroons. So Resolution 1608 now about those two pieces of territory. The Northern Cameroons they be vote for join Nigeria. Southern Cameroons they vote for join Cameroon. So of course Cameroon it be want the two territories and for join them. But because the Northern Cameroons be one join Nigeria, now why the Cameroon government, President Amadou Ahidjo, it be sue the British government for court for take back the Northern Cameroons. So they no be vote against the independence of Southern Cameroons. Now lie where they tell now. They be vote now against Northern Cameroons joining Nigeria. That's why they be vote against that resolution, because voting in favor of that resolution, it means that you sign on top of paper for condemn the Northern Cameroons make it join Nigeria. At the same time, you get case for International Court of Justice, where you don't take the United Kingdom, go for court, forsake that 11th of February 1961 plebiscite. So make they tally the results together so that make Northern Cameroons and Southern Cameroons, they put the results together, because if they put the results together, because what people then for Southern Cameroons, they be vote overwhelmingly for join Cameroon. You see and say, if you put the total results together, you see and say the vote way it be for join Cameroon, It passed the one way it will be for join Nigeria if you take the two territories and add the votes together. Now, why that way Cameroon government, if you take the British government to court, may they adjudicate that matter, and now why that way they will vote against resolution 1608? So now when they tell you the full picture now, you could still vex? No. Because now you get more information with which for base your decision making. And another one where I want to make una understand, for example, they can't tell una about, say, oh, na Madu Ayijo, Cameroon government, will be joined as a federation. Who's at the federation day? We will get 2 stars. Where to be the 2-star meaning? All of those things them now just to make you vex where there is nothing for vex about, because the reality now say they not forfeit ever dismantle the federal constitution, if not for the fact say every single Anglophone political elite was in favor of dismantling the federation. All of them. All. And I not talk say some. I say all. Every single person will be feel read and write in the Anglophone zone for 1972 if you want me to dismantle the federation. From John Goat Foncha, S.T. Muna them, Augustine Gomjoa them, all of them, including the parliamentarians, the way they be elect them, send them to the Federal Assembly, all of them vote. Say me they dismantle the federation. And I didn't even talk about the 20th of May referendum, because that's not what changed the form of state. The form of state is not changed by a referendum, just like how the British Southern Cameroons did not join Cameroon by the plebiscite of 11th of February. No, that's not what document that made them, that sealed the joining. There is a document that is signed that actually makes that law. That document where it makes the Southern Cameroons join Cameroon, now the exchange of notes between the British government and the Cameroon government will be signed for Yaoundé on the 27th of September 1961. That is the document where it been a legally binding union. Okay, not just the plebiscite. The plebiscite, not just the information where they want to get the informed choice of the population. For example, you want to get the opinion of the population. That's when you do a referendum and a plebiscite, when not just about the same thing. You get the opinion of the population, then now you go make the decision itself. So the decision itself was when the British they signed on a piece of paper for hand over sovereignty to President Ahmadu Ahidjo. The opinion of the public, now the plebiscite itself, that plebiscite was not a legal document. It was the opinion of the people. Just like 20th of May 1972 was the opinion of the people that they wanted to change the form of state from a federation to a unitary state. That vote for 20th of May 1972 is not what changed the constitution. That vote is not what actually made the country a unitary state. What made the country a unitary state was the act of parliament, the Federal Assembly, on the 2nd of June 1972, when the delegates from West Cameroon and the delegates from East Cameroon, there were 100 of them in the Federal Assembly at that time. So you get 80 delegates from East Cameroon and 20 delegates from West Cameroon. They be done in their Federal Assembly chamber. They examine the Constitution, and then they vote on the Constitution, and the Constitution it pass, and then it go now to the president's desk. President Ahmadu Ahidjo, it then sign them. That is what changed the form of state. That action of the Federal Assembly, because the Federal Assembly, now the legislative branch, now them get the responsibility for make the rules of the land, the laws of the land, not the presidency. The presidency is now executive branch, and then the judges, the courts, now the judiciary. So the legislative branch, when not them be the assembly, for example, National Assembly, or in those days the Federal Assembly, now them be get the responsibility for debate the bills and then pass them into law before the president will sign them into law. Not them, they write the laws. So make you understand how the country they work. When you understand all of these nuances and the background story, say now we Anglophone delegates, them the 20 of them from West Cameroon, they vote for that constitution, for change the form of state. When you get that reality now, you don't go vex anymore. You can understand, say they had the reason why they did those things they did back those days. Yes, sometimes we feel judge them harshly for 2024, but we don't understand the political calculations where them be make them in 1972. One of the things where we always ignore them, now the impact and the influence of the Biafra War, where it be happened next door to Cameroon between 1969 to 1970, 71, if I'm not mistaken. So by 1972, the effects of Biafra war, federation was failing in Nigeria. Why should we have a federation in Cameroon? Federation was only going to lead to secessionism, just like it happened with Biafra. Now, some of the political calculations in this way were forefathers, they be make them. Now, why that way they get rid of the political, the federal constitution? Make we understand these realities. Them when we understand how things they be there in their time, then we go fit understand some of the decisions the way they make them. But one thing with me, I no go ever forgive them now for the lies, because lies now what the way you it be deliberate. It means say you know say you did do wrong. You know the truth, you understand the truth, but you go out for go talk something for your own people them where it be deliberately designed for mislead them. You be not a leader, you're not supposed to be not a misleader. So now who's out with the John go function them, and before I even talk about who's out with the fail we, make una understand say I appreciate all of them for the fantastic work where they be doing for bring we out of Nigeria, because I've been a proud Cameroonian. I don't want to forget anything for do with Nigeria. So I don't want to miss some person talks today. So because all the people the way they always talk about say it was a bad idea for join Cameroon, none of them no good tell when I say it would be a good idea for join Nigeria, because at the end of the day they began only those two alternatives. Either join Nigeria or Cameroon. So any person where it no be in favor of joining Cameroon, it means that you be not in favor of joining Nigeria. There was no third option. There was no third option. So I'd be so proud of them. The John Go Funchas them, where they be fight for make sure say we reunite with Cameroon. But what's how way they fail we now with the lies in the 1990s and the infighting in the 1960s? That's where they failed us, because they were too preoccupied, concerned about their political futures as individuals. They were concerned about their belly instead of the concern about the future of the people of the former British Southern Cameroons. That's where they failed us. And then by 1990s, now they started to lie about the truth and the reality of things that happened in the 60s. Them instead of can't tell you the truth, say we miscalculated and we misfired. No, we were wrong. We made mistakes, terrible mistakes. But now here is what we can do to rectify them. They didn't say that. What they did was just come and tell blatant lies. Go for New York, for America, go carry flag, can't fool people and say this. So United Nations, they come back for can't open the decolonization file for give on independence. Those were blatant lies. That's where they failed us. That's where the John Go Funcha them, the Estimuna them, and the Molanjoli Tumbe them. That's the lies they told. That's where they failed us, all of us collectively. So we need to rectify these lies. Them, our population, they don't already be too taken by these lies. The way they only talk them over the years. Them, it don't radicalize them to the point of self-destruction. And in order for we to reverse this process, unfortunately, this generation of angry Anglophone youth, they need to die out. So the generation of my generation, the Eric Tato, the Tapang I for them, the Ebenezer Akwanga and Ayabacho, they need to die out. So we need about 20 or 30 more years for correct these mistakes then, because if it take about 20, 30 years for get to this position of self-destruction, the barrister Kontang, Ladem, the Fosong, and all of those people for SCNC, Molanjoli, they don't already die out. But before they die out, they radicalize this generation, them, the Estimon and Jongo Foncha, they don't go. But before they go, they lie to the people then for radicalize the Ayabacho, Tapang, Eric Tato, and Ebenezer Akwanga generation them. Now why that way they bring with ambassador terrorism? Now where we day here today, we get to reverse where them be doing for make sure that by the time we are on time to come past in the next 30 years, we will not fix the situation for the way we will tell the history in a balanced way where the next generation will be fully cognizant of the positives, the negatives, and the nuances, the good things the way our forefathers they be doing, the bad ones the way they be doing, the mistakes the way they be doing, the miscalculations the way they be doing, and all of those things. And because when they understand the full history, they could be better prepared for face the challenges of the future, and they could be in a better place for not repeat the mistakes them of the past. That's why I the hammer on this point, and now why that way I build a website for make sure that even when I know they're here in the future, or maybe 30, 40, 50 years time, I know go there around. Hopefully that website goes still there and it will be a reference point for the alternative views them for be heard, because we don't already get the views them of the Anglophone manipulators and the liars. The once they can't feed with the lies about say will not be joined, and all of those things. The Anglophone population already know all of those lies about will be joined as a federation, will be joined with 2 stars. Who are the 2 stars? The 2 stars it come out because Anglophones they move them. That is just the truth. Now we get to tell you the other side of the story. So I no go label myself for beginning to tell una wait away Molanjo Litumbe spend a good 50 years for your life to tell una. I no go label myself for the tell una wait away Estimuna them and the SCNC they will spend a good 30-40 years for the tell una. They don't already do those things and they don't already tell una the other side of the story of the history of the Anglophones them where it be biased because they tell una only half-baked truth. Now for we for complete the picture so that the next generation it will get a full picture and they will be better prepared for make better decisions them in the future. Thank you plenty my country people them. Today number 23 day for October 2024.
Regretting the devastations caused as a result of the ongoing crisis plaguing the northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon, with killings, kidnappings for a ransom, and serving as a threat to the population, coupled with fragmented leadership, 15 separatists have taken the bull by the horn in their respective camps in Meme and Dian divisions to escape the bushes under the command of their soldier generals by abandoning their arms and presenting themselves before the company commander of the National Gendarmerie, Lambert Sokane, who later on presented them November 12 to the Meme Senior Divisional Officer, Chamberlain Tundong, at the divisional office, welcoming these separatists for abiding to the head of state's call to lay down their arms, promising to usher them at the Disarmament, Demobilization and Reintegration Center in Boya.
The SO is receiving a welcoming all my children here present who used to be armor fighters and who have decided to abide to the call sent by the father of the nation, the Excellency Paul Biya, to lay down their guns and for them to join once more normal life. I'm giving my own blessing. I am encouraging them to go to GJI in Boya.
They, however, presented themselves before the senior divisional officer.
My name is from
Boa.
I work for
Meanwhile, they were reassured as being normal citizens and urged to convince those in the bushes to surrender and engage in agriculture, since there is an improvement in standard of living due to the increase in price of cocoa.
All the generals who used to be in Meme and who refuse to surrender,
yes.
Tell them that in the bushes they are wasting their time and they are destroying their own life. Cocoa is now very, very expensive. A kilogram is 3,000 something now. That if you go back to the bush to clear your cocoa farm, to plant cocoa, I am sure that you are going to gain standard living you used to have.
These youths, however, attested of being threatened and forced into joining the movement.
I'm a Bamileke by tribe. I joined this secession group because they forced me, saying that if I don't join them, they'll chase us away because we are Bamileke.
They believe dropping their arms will push others carrying arms to do same.